Having grown up in the country and never seen a tornado, I just wasn't scared of them at all. But then, that night Udall blew away. We had 2 children at that time, and they were both over at Grandpa and Grandma's house at Douglas, Kansas. And Douglas, Kansas is right close to Udall, Kansas. And if it was going that southwest and northeast route, when we heard the news on the television that evening, we were scared to death, tried to call, lines are down. Well, come to find out, our Methodist minister, and we were going to the Methodist church, we knew had come from Udall, and we called him and said, we're going over tomorrow if you want to ride over. And he said, I'd like that. So with him in the car, they had the National Guard out there to, prevent looting and to help find people's bodies and so on. They let us go right on in. I'm telling you, you get impressed very quickly. The trees were stripped. There were buildings that you could see. Well, in fact, his church, a church, heavy brick construction. It was almost a piece of blank ground. It'll get your attention in a hurry to see that kind of force. Incidentally, later, after that 1999 one that went through Moore, Oklahoma, and then on up through Hayesville and into southwest Wichita, helped clean up after that one. Those storms are so powerful, it's unbelievable. And incidentally, guess who lives in the house now that the Vietnam veteran came home and built for his bride? One of the granddaughters. And that bomb shelter is a very excellent shelter if a tornado's in the area. So we're thankful for that little side benefit from the Cuban crisis. Those storms come out of clouds that I was dumbfounded to be subbing last year or year before, sometime recently, to read that those are fair weather clouds. I told the kids, you see those fair weather clouds where I'm from, you better not think, well, isn't that nice? You better watch those clouds. But then you read a little bit more. Guess why they're called fair weather clouds? Well, that's because the next day the weather is likely to be nice. Those tornadoes get stirred up, formulated when storm clouds come in after a hot day, and then some cool air gets to mixing with the hot air, and a cloud that's got potential. And, well, my reservist policeman's son that's been a principal and teacher all these years at Clearwater, Kansas, he got trained to be a storm watcher. And incidentally, in the afternoon, the town of, can't say the word right now, just east of Wichita, got hit hard, happened to hit a trailer park where my niece and her husband and family lived. Roy got called up to do some duty that night to prevent looting. And gee, he said in the middle of the night, it was spooky. Down in there somewhere, lights were flickering. My gosh, you suppose we've really got a vandal? He and his buddy went down in there, and it was wrecked cars. The breeze had come up, and some of those tail trunks were going up and down and turning the light on and off. That park was so destroyed that after the storm, the niece's husband went in, couldn't even see the street to know where their trailer house had been. Those storms are powerful.